Let's look at Circular 18 of 2020 from the Western Cape Education Department that was issued the 3rd of August. It is guidelines for the implementation of the annual teaching plans, minimum core content, assessment and quality assurance of the amended school-based assessment for all grades. So it's overall guidelines and summaries to implement and it's based on all the circulars up to date, and this is applicable to the SMTs and all educators in all subjects in all grades. Link to the document itself and link to this video file that you're watching now. So let's just jump into Teams, and if we in the Grabie Personnel team, the COVID curriculum channel, we click the file tab here at the top, we will have all these, and this is a WCED circular, so we will find it in the WCED circular folder, and it will be number 18 of 2020. Click on that and it will open the file for us. I'm opening the file, but this is referring to some numerous other files as well. Let us just jump into a file that I already opened for it, and let's look through that. So just paging through it, it is basically giving guidelines for the implementation of the ATPs and also for the school-based assessment. And it's talking on the next page under paragraph 5 that schools should keep record of curriculum sections that were not covered per grade, per subject. So we need to make sure that we have that in plan. In number 6, they say that approval for any reduction in subjects offered must be obtained from the district director. We'll talk a little bit later about that. What it's basically doing, it's taking the core content, which were in other documents. You will remember that the core content were in these two documents itself that we've discussed over there. And then it takes the revised assessment program, and the revised assessment program was part of Circular 2. If you can remember correctly, I think it was page 8, that there's the revised assessment. So it's basically taking that and it's combining the two. For the foundation phase, the same for the intermediate phase, and as you can see, then stepping over into explaining the weightings again, and then in the senior phase exactly the same principle followed. Only thing that is happening is that here they're talking about compulsory subjects, and then that the school have an option to choose 2 from the following subjects. Very important, remember to not offer those 2 subjects. We need to get permission from the district director to do so. So if you guys want to do that, you need to come and talk to me about that. So back to this, the assessment standards itself there, which were in the other documents as I showed you. And then it comes to grade 10, 11 and 12, and they are basically referring to this document, this specific document here for the FET, which we also discuss in another video, and it's also discussing what we saw in E11, which were talking about the SPA requirements for the grades. That is what it is referring to. Basically, it's a summary of all of this, and then it's starting to talk about quality assurance. So they still advise that district moderation in the GT should focus on fundamentals of languages and mathematics. All schools must be moderated for grade 10 to 12 according to Circular DBE 11. And then running down to point 5, all grade 12 practical examinations must be marked and moderated externally. Then in point 11, just remember that if certain tasks cannot be complete, we need to apply for that by the district director, and that letter should be part for promotion and progression. Number 11, learners that are not at school, the assessment requirements and the rest of must be communicated in writing to the parents well in advance, and the learner must be accommodated at the school. Very important there. Then 13, about record keeping, informing us that there's new version 2 for all grades on CMIS. That is the spreadsheets to record the marks, explaining to us that we need to use the skip functionality in cases where certain tasks were not completed, and we've got permission to do so, and where there's only 2 subjects, the skip function must also be used for grade 7 to 9. And then we can also change the task heading. It has been unlocked in terms 3 and 4 to allow it for the way that we want to do that. And we need to use, if there's a valid absenteeism, we can use the AAPS functionality in that specific case. Then by 13.4, no formal reports for term 2, but there will still be reports for term 3 and 4, and the comments must indicate an overview of both the formal and informal assessment are basically requested. And Mr. Lewis is saying that we as schools need to implement all of this. So this is a high view overview document from the WCED. Thank you.